This is the Seton Hall story, one that comes to life every day on our campus. This is the place where great minds discover, innovate, collaborate, and find their true calling. This is the place where passion has a purpose, where learning inspires leading. The bonds we make, the values we teach, inspire our community to take heart and take action. This is Seton Hall University. This is what great minds can do.
It begins with our mission and values, a culture of innovation and collaboration, achieving a global perspective beyond the classroom, turning education and theory into practice, developing lifelong interests and connections, and striving to make a difference in our communities. Marist College.
Welcome one, welcome all to the 7th week of EGFC. My name is Keelamaz, joined as always by Soy, and this week we're getting off to a little bit of a late start, but it's not going to be any less exciting because we've got Marist College stepping up again against Seton Hall, who are looking to try and prove themselves against this giant.
Yeah, absolutely. Seton Hall is one of these teams that, they're looking to try and get themselves, pick themselves up after a couple of losses the past 2 weeks. Their one win so far this season has been against the MAC. It was St. Peter's earlier, but this Marist team, it's just something else to watch some weeks.
Yeah, Marist, they came in with an incredibly deep roster, and then they deepened it because every single one of their new freshmen has honestly been a killer. Coldface, well, we're starting out with Stinky Cheese. It looks like Stinky Cheese 782. Gonna be rocking the Jigglypuff. Against Falco, this is honestly not a great matchup for Falco, if I'm being real. I mean, the jump off stage is good, but if you lose your double jump off stage, Jigglypuff should be able to pick up an easy kill.
Yeah, and going up against Trey, too. Trey is one of these players for Seton Hall that, loves these fast fallers. We've also seen him play Fox in the past, but it's like you said, I think this one just feels like Stinky Cheese is going to have to kind of wait for his opportunities.
Yeah, this is honestly a very different style of Falco than what I've seen. Playing very grounded, very around grabs, and I think that's doing wonders as it's kind of tripping up how Stinky Cheese wants to approach, but going in with that down air and trading is going to put you off stage. Down tilt though, not going to lead into the up air, the string not quite true. As I send off stage now, Stinky Cheese gets a little too aggressive with that edge guard. That wasn't going to connect any day of the week, and now above on the platform, Stinky Cheese has kind of clawed their way back into this one.
Love the reaction there from Stinky Cheese, though, catching the last possible hit of that up B, or with his dash attack, I believe, and then catching the nair on the recovery in. Very well done to take that first stock.
And I love the liberal use of down air right here as they go for the pound fair rest. Not quite true, but well. Stinky Cheese now trying to get off the ledge. They're trying to just get hard reads on these options without committing too much, and they're only getting stray hits for it. But hey, when you're stuck up, going for the risky option, it's not too terrible, as they just got killed by back throw. Oh boy, missed the DI up on that one.
Yeah, that last laser is where all the knockback comes from in that back throw, and Stinky Cheese just not quite DIing properly, falls prey to it, so loses his first stock, and still a lot of work to be done here for Trey, though.
Yeah, getting caught by the stray soft hit of Nair at this percent, it's so detrimental. It puts you at such a disadvantage. Going high right there, very high. Stinky Cheese not actually having the speed to catch up to Trey. As Trey is holding on to this stock, if they're able to just get one up tilt, they can get some percent, but the back air out of shield will finish them off.
And you saw Trey there, I think, wanted his own back air, but it just took too long, and Stinky Cheese recognized what Trey wanted and was able to get his move out faster, catch him jumping.
Ooh, getting the parry right there, but not quite that much of a follow-up at 0%. But look at this. This is stock 1 Trey coming back right here. They've regained some composure, playing a lot more grounded, a lot more with punish heavy until they get touched. Jigglypuff, weirdly enough, is kind of a touch of death character. I mean, touches 60% at least, as that's where Trey is resting now. But the straight up tilt to neutral is actually going to put Stinky Cheese up in the air. They're going to survive, though.
And I mean, you saw there, Stinky Cheese, once he gets one opening, he can do some damage of his own. Just one whiff from Trey cost him about 60%. And that up smash, though, will even up the stock count. But at 72%, Trey has to play very carefully here.
Yeah, now trying to control this center platform, but being above it is kind of tricky. Trey, like I said, playing this grounded game, footsies, gets them 20%. They're dash dancing around, but catching the dash back right there with a forward smash, that's rough. Not a true dash dance here in Ultimate, and when you dash back, you're stuck in a bit of lag, so if it's hard red, the forward smash jutting forward like that can finish you straight off, and not just finish you off while you're DIing out because you're dashing back. That's a tough situation.
Absolutely. I was about to mention, when you're caught in that dash dance, that DI it can be, susceptible to being caught out in the wrong direction there. And so great stuff there to Stinky Cheese to catch him out, like you said. But I think this matchup really was kind of dictated by Stinky Cheese. You're right. Jigglypuff, like you said, it feels like the damage comes in waves, but all he needs is that one opening. And for Trey, I don't feel like Trey, he had that good ground game at first to get some good percentage, but there wasn't much afterwards.
Yeah, and that is just the nature of the character a little bit. There are combos you can do on Jigglypuff. Trust me, I've been on the receiving end of them. But you need to practice specifically on how to combo the floatiest, one of the lightest characters in the entire game, and a lot of people don't have that on lock unless you've got a best friend who's a Jigglypuff main. So instead, you've just got to fish for bread and butters. Up tilt back air, up tilt up air. Just get 20-30% at a time and then fish for a stray smash attack. It's not a great plan. And when it's your only plan, that's rough. And I don't fault Trey for not having the Jigglypuff combos on lock. I mean, why would you? But at the same time, that is something that Stinky Cheese can avoid to pretty much... They're never in disadvantage for too long.
Yeah, I mean, you think about the ways that Stinky Cheese lost his stock, but oh my goodness, well, Stinky Cheese nearly taking one early there, nearly catching the jump, but Trey able to make it back to stage. But it's just been so difficult for Trey to take stocks in the first place. Really, the only outside of that back throw, which Stinky Cheese probably could have gotten out of, he found a jump with an up smash, and that's just rough.
Here on Lilat, Jigglypuff is actually really controlling the pace of the game a lot more. They're in Trey's face a lot more than game one. And even though they're caught by that Firebird, they're still going to be holding the lead. Drag down Nair, though, leads into quite a bit of percent in this matchup. 76 at ledge with the correct read. That's a kill. Trey knows that. They're fishing for it, but they can't quite find it. And going in against the Nair, against the back air, when anything will kill, he's just going to lose your stock.
Facing their huge key, Stinky Cheese did a good job of avoiding every aerial Trey was throwing out, because you could tell Trey really wants this stock.
Yeah, they're desperate for it, salivating, but they can't quite dig in, because Jigglypuff is just a slippery character. Highest air acceleration in the game. Nothing is too committal, especially when you go onto their shield with a long multi-hit and it just shield pokes. Because that's what it is, and getting the rest out of shield right there, oh, yeah, that's got to be demoralizing, and Trey getting the taunt right there. Stinky Cheese is now looking to finish what they started. 44% on the board already, and they've got Trey off stage, shielding the side B. These side Bs on a stage have been punished every time, Soy.
Yeah, he's got to be very careful about it. Can't quite find the up air out off of that down air, and a good forward air from Stinky Cheese, and oh my goodness! Oh, make it 2 for 2 on the rest.
And that get-up attack was read a game in advance. Because I remember I noted in game one, Stinky Cheese, what they would do anytime they got a knockdown is they would sit and wait for roll-in. Sit and wait for roll-in. Always covering roll-in. I mean, that's the Hungry Buck strat all the way. And, well, Trey was not giving it to him. Trey would not give it to him at all. They would either roll away, neutral get-up, or get-up attack. It was mostly get-up attack, if I'm being honest. And so as soon as they saw that, it may have took them the entire game to capitalize on it, but they saw the tech on the platform and they're like, what are they going to do? They're going to get-up attack. And so they waited, no roll in, it's a get-up attack, and they're right in there for the rest. So conditioning.
Absolutely. And I really think the other key part of this matchup too, Stinky Cheese's spacing overall was fantastic, right? Because your spacing with a character like Falco has to be on point, and because it wasn't, Stinky Cheese just was able to take advantage of every slight opening he found. I mean, think about in game number 1, how many times he was able to convert, hit after hit after hit into, 20, 40, 60%. Even here on Lilat, he was able to just pressure every time the side B hit shield, every time, there was a whiffed aerial by Trey. Stinky Cheese was just ready for it.
Yeah, as Marist College with the early lead is going to be sitting pretty comfy. I mean, we do need to be honest about the matchup. This is, I think, 19th in the league, taking on 5th. I mean, Marist College is feeling pretty comfortable, having only 1 loss under their belt. I mean, it's 5-1 versus 1-5. So, obviously, Marist is feeling pretty comfortable, but this is not the first time that they've faced off against a lower tier team. I mean, think about University of Connecticut, who, despite not having a single win, took them to the last match of the set. I mean, it came down to a couple stocks difference, Soy.
Yeah, it really did kind of come down to that last set last week. So Marist is not susceptible to these type of upset matchups. The question is, though, for a team like Seton Hall, when you've only got 1 win under your belt, you're kind of wondering where are the points going to come from on this roster. And Trey was one of these players that he's been a consistent name to this roster, but he's come into this league at 0-5. He has yet to find a set win so far. So throwing him out first, it felt like this was a good opportunity for him to get some points, especially against a character like Jigglypuff, who might be susceptible to losing their stocks a bit easier. But Stinky Cheese just played so well and so smart. And that's the scary part about Marist's roster, is that even though you may have your starting 4 or 5 names, it feels like the depth of this roster just continues down to 6, 7, 8 at times.
Yeah, and one thing that I find is pretty interesting, I don't think they're keeping it up, but Marist is actually a lot of freshmen, and Zucchini, the coach who is actually coming in next, has made a point to be training these freshmen up so they can take up the mantle once Marist is gone, as we are going to be seeing, I think this is Owzer the Bowser coming in against Zucchini, so a Reptilian matchup on Pokemon Stadium 2.
Yeah, and these are 2 of the heavier hitters for both of these schools. Zucchini currently undefeated on the season at 5-0, and for Owzer, he's one of the heavier. He earns some of the most points for Seton Hall over the course of their season so far. He is 3-3, and this Bowser, I mean, I think we saw him way back in week 2 or so. It feels like this Bowser just keeps improving week after week.
Yeah, I said it before when Seton Hall was on stream. Owzer, okay, this is going to lead into a compliment, so don't flame me. Owzer did not look great in the first season. It looked like they were just getting their hands on the character in a competitive sense. And they have really figured out how to use all of Bowser's tools. They're not a full master yet. I mean, we're in a college league. I don't think anyone is a full master of their character yet. But, well, Owzer is getting there. Finally understanding how to use all of the tilts, all of the aerials to really put fear into your opponent, because that is the name of the game if you're Bowser.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we've seen, with ever since that first time we saw him, the growth of this player and this character. Against Zucchini, it's not going to be easy, especially since Zucchini seems to be kind of the master of these heavier, bigger characters like a Bowser, like a Ridley even here. And opting for the Ridley this set, I think, is a really good matchup for him.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you want the punish game, and you also want the approach option with the fireball right there. I feel like the fact that you're able to pressure shield from a range with fireball is really important, especially against Bowser with a really, really good, really oppressive up B out of shield at times. Make Owzer uncomfortable to use that tool, which they have used liberally in the past.
That neutral B just does so much damage every time, and really is a little bit of a lighter character, and ooh boy, the forward smash coming through in the clutch.
Yes. At the moment, Zucchini down to stock, but abusing Bowser's rather linear recovery, not even letting them get the up B out, just chaining forward air out after forward air. But Zucchini getting in a little too close right there, and Ridley having trouble escaping from that Flame Breath. I mean, 60% already. Able to punish the up B out of shield, but the down air is actually going to reset the situation. Shielding the up smash. Zucchini looking for a punish, but the down B is maybe a little optimistic.
A little big percent lead here for Owzer, and oh my goodness, Owzer just not afraid to throw out these forward smashes and up smashes, and they're sealing away early stocks.
Ooh, and the Tough Guy coming in clutch right there as they get the side B into the side B. Tough Guy, what it allows you to do is tank through multi-hits. That is what Owzer did to get this reversal. And even if you lose this stock, 43%, that is a great start, and they're going to extend it even farther. Searching for another side B. That might be a little bit of a panic option, but they're still going to live for the time being. Getting stage again, but the up out of shield isn't going to be punished. Ooh, Owzer maybe getting a little bit slipped up right now. I saw 3 side Bs in a row right there.
Yeah, he's just hunting for a way back into this game, and Owzer's done a good job of finding openings and getting percent here.
Oh, and this is a really good turn of events. Zucchini has been forcing Owzer into the air and not punishing them so many times. Now they're finally getting the juggles on lock. Not able to prevent the recovery, and the get-up attack does catch Zucchini, but Owzer is one mistake away from losing their stock. And at ledge, it's shockingly easy to make a mistake as you jump up straight into Zucchini's nair. Zucchini brings it back in a big way.
What a turnaround. I mean, this felt like Owzer had the momentum and the lead through most of this match, and then all of a sudden, like you said, just 1 or 2 openings and Zucchini claws it all the way back. Now, it did seem like you said, a little desperate at times for that side B, but then again, you think about what Bowser has to answer that side B, and there's really no great answer. Neutral B has to be ready for something like that, and that's really it at the moment.
Yeah, as I really liked the play in the beginning, but it feels like Zucchini is adapting a little faster than Owzer is ready for. I had mentioned how Zucchini had been forcing Owzer into the air, and then they weren't able to punish because Owzer was really good at mixing up how they landed with down airs, getting a lot of punishes just from reversals on landings. But then in that last stock, Zucchini showed their adaptation in that they got Owzer in the air, and when Owzer touched the ground again, they were at 80%.
Yeah, that was huge too, especially later on in that game, like you said. And so into game number 2 here, you have to wonder what the adaptation is here from Owzer. I mean, Zucchini did such a good job too of taking advantage, like you said, of Bowser's linear recovery. Once Owzer was off stage, there's really not much he can do. So if he can find some sort of mix-up or just stall a little bit longer, find some way to, be a little bit trickier out of disadvantage, he might have a little bit of a better chance. But Zucchini just does such a good job of closing out stocks.
Yes. Going to be going on to Yoshi's right now for the Ditto. All right. This is kind of interesting. I mean, this isn't BM. Zucchini has a Bowser, and showing that maybe they're not quite as clean with the movement as... Look at the patience right here. Bowser surprisingly really is a... Great minds think alike right there, as they both try and cross each other up with the Flame Breath and instead stand back to back for a Pyrotechnics display.
Ooh, Zucchini had a little bit of a disadvantage. That's a good side B. That won't take the stock quite yet, though, and Zucchini now has to find a way back to stage.
As going to be trickier for them now. They're off stage. A side B will do it right now, especially on Yoshi's off the top on a platform. Yeah, Bowser is just going to obliterate Zucchini right there.
That side B just does an impressive amount of knockback, and Zucchini unable to deal with the Fire Breath, just ate 53% for that little bit of flame, and now he's at a big disadvantage. He can make this back up pretty quickly, but his openings have just been few and far between here.
Now, Let's see what you can make work with this. Zucchini on ledge right now. Owls are going for the reaction ledge trap, but they're not able to catch the roll away. They are able to get caught by the back air, though. Zucchini able to turn that around 74%. One bad reaction to a Flame Breath into a neutral win, and you're not in a bad position. But on ledge, you're not going to have many options.
Does manage to find a way back on the stage, though. And this is an interesting predicament, too. Now that I think about it, the first time we saw Owzer was actually a Bowser Ditto way back in that Week 2 matchup. I believe he was playing against Star Ukami of South Alabama. So he's no stranger to the Bowser Ditto itself, and nearly able to take that second stock off of Zucchini there.
Yeah, as Zucchini not able to get the stock off of that. Even with the rage, it's not going to be enough. As Owzer does hold the lead, is top platform going to be enough? Yeah, that is such a good kill confirm on this stage. Owzer holding the lead for the time being. Down air not even going to be punished, though, because that landing hitbox. Running up and up being Zucchini, that's very uncharacteristic, as Zucchini has been a little more of the punish heavy out of the two of these. Getting the landing nairs into up tilts. They've gotten a lot of good reads, especially with that back air right now. It's an even game. But Zucchini eats an early forward air, going to be taken to the top as well, 38%. Holding the lead, and they fall right into that Flame Breath as close to the hitbox as you can. Their percent doubles, 100% already. You're getting close to kill confirmed percent as Owzer in the Ditto shows why they are named after their character, gets a point on the board for Seton Hall, and ties up the set 1-1.
Yeah, big points there for Owzer to get. Just give himself a chance here entering this third game, because we've seen how close these games have been between, two of the heavier characters. And this, I think it really came down to those Flame Breaths did so much. Zucchini, I don't think, landed a single Flame Breath that match. And if he did, it was only for, maybe 10-ish%. Whereas there was so much, like you said, it just, when that percent skyrockets on a character that has such kill power, it just does so much work.
Yeah, Zucchini using the Flame Breath more as a spacing tool. I mean, catching them with the very, very tips of the flames, which are going to fade and recede anyways, whereas Owzer uses it as a hard read. And I feel like out of all of Bowser's tools, a hard read with the Flame Breath is the most impactful, because, I mean, that's 50% if you get the closest hitbox and the SDI isn't there. Yeah, not going to be running that back. Instead, Zucchini, this is another big body that they have been playing a lot. See how it fares here on Final Destination. I mean, Bowser going to have a hard time getting in, and using it as a hard read, the Flame Breath, is actually going to be punished a little harder by Rob. And they're actually going to have a harder time landing, too, with that up air. Side B catching, sending Owzer off stage. Very good space control so far.
Yeah, this matchup is a lot harder for Bowser, and Zucchini's Rob has had a lot of success as of late. Although we don't see it all that often, when it shows up in a big way, and it's usually for situations like this, like a heavier character that he struggles to deal with in a neutral matchup. So we'll have to see how Owzer reacts, because I don't think he's really played against a Rob like this.
Yeah, not at all, as they are read like a book. Yeah, that high jump in, it's such a panicky option when you are... I mean, it's a good option, but it is the go-to panic option for almost every player out there. There's Zucchini knowing they put fear into their hearts with such a high percentage depth, and goes through the read, and now they get the combo game going, trying to carry them across stage, but Bowser, not going to be put in that much hit stun by the down tilt, is able to forward tilt out of it.
That was huge, too, because Zucchini really wanted to extend that combo and get a lot more percent on the board here. He still might be able to find some. This should be an up air, but he can't quite find the DI, and that's a good side B, but Zucchini will survive.
Oh, they went so deep, but they didn't commit all the way to the read. They might have got something there if they did. Instead, they drift back to ledge, put them in disadvantage, and now Zucchini's 3 stocks to 1. Owzer now, against this counter pick, they are really having a tough time.
Tough time to say the least is Owzer. You can tell he really wants to get this first stock off the board, going for that down B, wanting the forward smash there, but he gets interrupted by this gyro. And now an opening here for Zucchini, keeping the pressure on by the ledge, but that's a good up B.
Yeah, not near the ledge, though. Isn't going to kill quite yet. Zucchini holding on to this stock as they send Owzer off. Are they going to get the read? No spike, though. Bowser just barely able to survive by the skin of their teeth. They have one chance to prevent a massive lead. I think Zucchini might have this in the bag, but somebody able to get the stock off. But at ledge right now, you get up right into the gyro. You're still off stage. Free ledge trapping right there for Rob. Yeah, the side B. That's not going to be a kill from center stage, but you're still on ledge. And that is where Zucchini has gotten so much mileage. They want the side B so bad, though. And, well, there's a different side B waiting for you, Zucchini. There you go.
Yeah, a little bit of an overextension, and Zucchini knows that Bowser at this point is working on borrowed time. He's just waiting for one opening. That side B, again, not going to take the stock quite yet, but this one, closer to the blast zone, should do it, and it does. So Zucchini wraps up game number 3 with a 2-stock.
Yeah, Zucchini showing that they have mastery over all heavies. Jack of all heavies, master of none. Well, I'd say they're pretty close to mastering quite a few of them. As well, the Bowser, it didn't look that great. But it doesn't really matter that it wasn't the best, because you were still able to go toe-to-toe with Bowser, and even though in the Ditto they're able to win it out, you still have more combo-heavy characters that you're able to slip over to and use to demolish this heavy whenever you get the chance.
Yeah, and I think that Final Destination pick played a huge part of it too, because we've talked about Final Destination in the past, how the disadvantage in that stage in particular just gets exploited over and over, and it just kind of extends it, makes it harder and harder for you to get out of it. And Bowser is one of those characters that, you know, his disadvantage is just bad in general, right? So the fact that it got even more exploited by a character with Rob, who's got all of these options, who's got the combo game, who's got kill moves. It was just kind of fighting an uphill matchup for Bowser.
Yeah, well, the thing about Bowser is the one good disadvantage tool he has is his ability to mix up down airs, down Bs, and an amazing fast fall to really... It's not an unpunishable escape option, but it's a scary one, because if you get hit by it, it's a mass reversal, so much %, and you might just die for it, too.
Yeah.
With Rob, and with Ridley to an extent, you're able to put up these massive, long-lasting hitboxes that can, at times, just straight up get around those down airs. Like, I'm not sure exactly how the hitboxes interact, but either way, they give really good air control, and it's the air control that you need to take away Bowser's one real tool out of disadvantage.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it was really well done by Zucchini there, right? Just adapting to the set, realizing, you know, coming in with a game plan and executing very well. And that's something I think Zucchini does very well as a player. He has a game plan, but also if it goes sideways, like you saw in game 2, just couldn't win the Bowser Ditto, he has that plan B, plan C. He's got an adaptive game plan under, you know, in the back of his mind, so he's able to, you know, adjust mid-set, and that's a mark of a good player, and that's why he's remained undefeated so far here in Season 3.
For sure. And coming up next, we actually do have the it's going to be Relax from Marist. And, well, I had mentioned previously that Marist is making a conscious effort to train up their freshmen. Relax is one of the best examples of this. Relax coming in hot this year on the Greninja, looking a lot more clean, a lot more practice, a lot more focus on confirms as of last week, I believe we last saw them. They were really good at fishing for those kills, and, well, fishing and fishing and fishing and throwing the hook out there and seeing what it returns. That's not a terrible thing to do when you have one of the best down tilts in the game. The dash attack confirms into forward air. Listen, they were able to get a lot of mileage off of knowing how to stay chill and get the kill. So that's what I'm looking forward to from Relax as they go up against Elementor, who I'm not sure I have seen before, Soy.
Yeah, Elementor is one of these players that's a bit newer to the EGF. He's 1-1 so far this season, and the last we saw him on stream, he played King K. Rool, which is a different type of matchup for a heavy into Greninja, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like K-Rool does have some sauce to kind of disrupt Greninja's ground game, because that is the main thing about Greninja. He's got amazing ground game, amazing jump height, so you're able to follow up off of the hits you get on the ground, but the air acceleration is not exactly the best. So approaching from the air is a little tough from Greninja. You want to approach on the ground, get the hit, and then combo in the air. So with that in mind, unable to use the ground because of the cannonball, because of the crown, it might be a little harder for Relax, but there are definitely a lot of ways you can adapt around this. As I was about to say another reptilian duel, but amphibian? Is that the word? I don't know. Either way, it's a bog brawl here in Pokemon Stadium.
And Relax on this Greninja, like we've said, has just been money for the Marist Red Foxes. He is also undefeated so far on the season, and Elementor is trying to route that set count here, but an early deficit. A lot of good strings together so far for Relax.
Immediately getting just, I mean, like I said, solid confirms. At 59%, not a great percent to be. I mean, Greninja's on the lighter side, but not really a lightweight, as a little bit of ping pong action going on there as the crown sets up into the air, and the dash attack does give Elementor stage control. They're going for the cannon stuck, not going to get it. Instead, they're just going to get straight around that, but they turn around the counter somehow. They're able to get the kill by smashing them against the stage with a back throw, but even so, Elementor kind of in a rough spot, but you're getting out of kill confirm range now. Relax is going to have to just start fishing for some reads with the side B and maybe even a fully charged water shuriken.
And I think he realized it too, because when he found that one opening to go for an aerial, like a forward air or a shadow sneak, he decided not to pull the trigger. He was looking for which way Elementor was going to go, and now he's got to play very carefully here at 50% of his own. Elementor could still do some work, and he's surviving at such a high percent as well.
Just going for the pummels. Forward throw, yeah, I was going to say, I think forward throw kills. I mean, quite a few characters forward throws will kill at 197%, but it is also K-Rool. You got to keep that in mind. As Elementor keeps trying to read hops, or hops, full hops, whatever the hops may be from this little frog, with the crown, and, well, like I said, Greninja's very ground-based, so they're not giving it to him a lot of the time. It's giving Relax openings to approach. They're getting the super armor through a lot of the confirms, the dash attack, the down tilt. I don't know if that's enough, though, as the drag down right there sets up into the up smash and going all the way up with the up air. Not able to drift to catch the K-Rool's air dodge, but they still hold on to the crown, taking away one of the primary space controls until they get parried. Yeah, Elementor gets the back throw again, their main kill option right now.
Relax has done a really good job of playing patient until that moment right there. Just overextends with the Nair on shield, and Elementor finds the back throw. And it feels like, again, Relax, like you said, that armor is really helping out Elementor, but the down tilt into the up smash, able to find that stock. So last stock situation here, and things have been pretty even between the two of them.
Yeah, as well. Ooh. Yeah, that is actually something I was wondering about right there. K-Rool. Wait, Relax died first. Relax died first. Relax got the spike with the counter, but they were at a little too much percent. K-Rool not going to be sent fully down, and because of that, that's actually going to be Relax going down. I mean, that is something you just have to be aware of if you're going for a counter like that. It's not like Sora where the counter interrupts all options. K-Rool still had some momentum going up and still, of course, had, well, the weight to avoid that spike being a true confirm.
Yeah, and you have to wonder, too, if it kind of got into Relax's head, because Relax was losing stocks first in that matchup, right? He was just barely, finding himself at a deficit at the start of every stock. So he finds this one huge opening on stock number 3 and finds those two back airs, and you wondered if he was going to pull the trigger on anything. Instead, he opts to go for the counter, but I don't think he had. If that K-Rool had any more percent on him, that spike might kill before he falls off stage because of the counter, right? you have to wonder if that kind of momentum shift played with that last stock, made him go for that play instead. Because like you said, it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, I feel like Relax could get a lot of mileage off of grabs. I think I saw them grab K-Rool once, and it was when they got the pummels into the forward throw. But you saw a lot of the time Relax was going in for their guaranteed combo starters, the dash attack, the down tilt, and they were catching super armor on the side B. If you just go for the grab instead, I mean, super armor don't care about that. You're just going to grab right through that belly armor, and you're going to be able to get some guaranteed percentage. Maybe you're not going to get the confirm into the forward air like you want, but on a heavy like K-Rool with not a lot of airspeed, you can probably get some up airs, some chains, some strings, some juggles, and I feel like that could be very beneficial for Relax.
Yeah, no, absolutely. On a character that thrives off of combos like this on a heavy, especially too when, Elementor is finding ways to take stocks a little bit earlier, right? It's not like Relax is surviving to the same percents that Elementor is, right? Greninja, like you said, not the lightest character, but still on the lighter side of the cast. And K-Rool's got all of this kill power in their kit, so it's sort of what I did note in that game too was Relax did a very good job of playing patient, especially through that second stock. Once he had K-Rool at disadvantage, it was almost like he'd wait for the defensive option to come out and then punish accordingly. But that's only going to work for so long, right? You can only buy yourself so much time against a heavy character.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the nature of this game. You can only play perfectly for so long. The spacing tools aren't quite there to completely wall someone out, as now you're going to have to win 2 consecutive games to avoid getting, put down by Seton Hall. Seton Hall, though, this is an opportunity, 3rd game here, to get some points on the board and start the turnaround. I mean, if you're able to get a good win here, you can easily make this not only a winnable game, but put Marist on the back foot. And, we have seen, like I said, Marist going to a Game 5 that is not a guaranteed win, which is not something a lot of these higher level teams want to do.
Yeah, and you have to think of it from Seton Hall's perspective here. If they don't find this set win, this match is done, over and dusted. They won't be able to find enough points to get themselves back into the match, especially if Relax is able to get a lot of points here like he has done in the past. So for Elementor, this is all or nothing for him. He's got to be able to find a way to take this set.
Yeah, well, they're able to get some nice early leads. I mean, the platforms right here, I feel like even though you get the up smash kill confirms if you're Greninja, it's just a liability that you can be put into a tech chase situation that can lead to death. So instead, Relax, they want their guaranteed combos, their guaranteed juggles, and completely controlling around right here, trying to get K-Rool at ledge. But there's a super armor again. They counter the crown on the way back, though. That's an interesting adaptation that does get them stage control.
Yeah, I really like that adaptation too, countering the crown and opting for the counter upwards too, so he could possibly follow up with an up air. Does manage to find that forward smash, so Relax able to take the first stock, and now Elementor, a lot of work to do.
Yeah, but nice guaranteed bread and butters, 32% of the rapid jab on shield. That's probably going to be punished right there. Instead, they just retreat though. K-Rool's options not quite fast enough. The crown going past that full hop, going to bite Relax in the butt. It would get back to stage just fine. And Nair on shield, that's perfectly safe. You can't try and shield grab that one as the jab lock sets up for even more damage. 85% and building as the jab goes in the wrong direction. Another jab lock, but they're not able to finish the string. A heartbreaker for Relax.
So much damage, though, for the side of Relax, and Elementor is kind of shaking in his boots right now, going, how do I find my way out of disadvantage? Does manage to find that neutral B taking the stock, so Elementor ties things back up. But again, when you've got a player like Relax playing the way he is, he's got to play so carefully if he wants to find a way back in this match.
Yeah, as right here, right now, able to avoid the forward smash. They really want this counter at ledge, and I don't blame them at all. They see that Relax is all buttons all day as they try and punish these hitboxes. The back though sets up for a possibility of a spike, but there's no hitbox on that up B. So Relax is perfectly fine to just get away with it. The fact that they're sent so far, and at each percent, it just keeps getting a little higher, and they're able to get the automatic spot dodge from that down smash, flipping themselves up straight down into the belly flop onto Relax. They're able to keep the stocks even on Relax's counter pick of Final Destination.
That was a huge down smash for Elementor to have, because Relax was at such a low percent and it killed so early. And although he loses his stock right after it, he will gladly make things even on this last stock.
Dash tech into forward air right there, but it's a little bit risky when you go off stage like that. Like I said, the super armor again, making sure Relax can't get any real follow-ups off of this, as they're not going for the grabs. Instead, they're just trying to space these landing nairs, trying to bait Elementor into something unsafe. But right now at 40%, you are at a percent where one mistake could be your doom. 65 now. They're caught by the crown. Elementor, they're in their moment right here when fear is building up in their opponent, but going for a committal option like down smash when it's not guaranteed, that will be the stop. That time Relax is not going to be caught unawares, as the set is tied up 1-1 between these two.
And I actually didn't mind that down smash in theory from Elementor, because you knew Relax wanted to go in, right? He wants that combo into the kill move. He wants to finish this set. He wants to give himself a chance in game number 3. And if you land that down smash, there's a good chance he dies again at an early percent. But at the end of the day, I think Relax knew. He caught on and was able to properly space around that move and find that forward smash. So well done by Relax in that second game.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it was, I don't think it was made easy, because any one misspaced move is just death against K-Rool, or at least 20% minimum. And for Greninja, that's not great, as you do have a good recovery in terms of control, but characters can exploit it. Luckily, I feel like K-Rool does have a little more trouble than most. But knowing that your recovery can be a little exploitable, can be a little tricky. The one thing I feel like afforded to them is that they don't have to worry about that counter spike that a lot of characters can get messed up by. The fact that that doesn't work is kind of, well, like, think back at how that game 1 ended. Like, it makes you wonder, if it had been a clutch situation on stage instead of off stage, if this wouldn't be a 1-1 set right now.
Yeah, and I think the fact that the counter didn't work in the first place has kind of played to the mental game for Elementor, right? Because now Relax is a little bit scared to throw out that counter, and he has to use it in kind of awkward scenarios, like you saw in game 2. He used it on stage and tried to follow up on it rather than as a kill move.
Drag down multi-jab right there, as Relax is able to, well, keep things even for the most part. Down tilt, forward smash though. Nice bit of damage, and you force them to miss-space the up B right there with your up B, get even more damage on the board, and that time trying to counter the crown on the way back. The spacing isn't there, but the idea is. Not going fully off stage, but they're trying to mess them up again, because if they can bait Elemental on stage again, it's a guaranteed kill. They're trying to read that neutral get up, but it's not going to be quite as easy. They have the understanding. They're just a little bit off on the timing. The counter, though, off the top will be enough.
And that counter, again, coming in an important scenario there, and Relax using it on his way in rather than using it to try and seal away a stock. Using it while Elementor thinks he has the advantage there. Smart play by Relax.
As at this point, Elementor is now, well, the weaknesses of their character are kind of have trouble when you don't get punished by the super armor and you're just tanking damage, and sure, you're not giving them a combo, but you're still just resetting neutral.
And now Elementor's got a ton of work to do. That's an early air dodge, but he should be able to make it back. And Elementor just trying to find a way back into this game, but you can tell Relax wants to end this one quickly. He's got him at nearly kill percent if he gets him by the stage, but look at how carefully both of them are playing around center stage here.
Yeah, this is honestly so good right now. Relax. They know if they give up this stock, it's a possibility of a comeback. So, well, might as well get the 3 stock. Redeem the point you lost, as the up tilt will finish them off. It's going to be at least a 2 stock.
Just the tip of that up tilt, just the claws on K. Rool catching Relax there, but now Relax a full stock ahead and a lot of potential here. There it is one more time. The down tilt into up smash, the Greninja Classic sealing away game number 3.
Yeah, very, very nice stuff right there, as they're able to get the finisher, and that's honestly as much as you can ask for if you're Marist. You see, you observe, you adapt, you overcome. And, well, K. Rool ultimately just could not stand up to it. The character just, doesn't have the tools, doesn't have the guaranteed combos, and you're able to get some very nice reads, let's be real. I'm not dissing them at all. But in the end, your most guaranteed kill option was a misspaced aerial into shield grab into back throw. That's not the foundation for the healthiest of winning matchups, you know?
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I feel like the real momentum shift of this match was that second stock. When Relax was able to use that up B and take the second stock off of Elementor in what had been such a close set throughout the first 2 games where the stocks were relatively even, the fact that he was able to really steal away that second stock without losing his first completely shifted the mindset of the game, and Elementor just could not really find a way back in.
Yeah, I feel like once the momentum was gone, I think the momentum was still there in game 2. Let's be real, it still was a last hit, last stock situation. But the nerves were tightened a little bit from Relax. Or rather, they were relaxed. It's right there in the name. You know we had to go there. As they were able to figure out that, well, maybe if I just don't give as much respect to these tools, because Greninja does have the frame data to attack the super armor with a safe move and then get a counter on the crown coming back, or a counter on the down smash, or just another safe move that comes out after the super armor is hit. Just has the options to, well, invalidate a lot of K. Rool's setups. And once they were invalidated, it was all down to roll neutral, and that's not easy for anyone to stay ahead in. So Relax, going to get the points on the board. This kind of, it is unwinnable for Seton Hall at this point, but can still play for one more match, still get some more points on the board as we look who our final players are going to be. It's going to be Jimbo 2000. It's going to be Rograt. Yeah, just a little bit of confusion. Another Greninja player. 2 of them, in fact, on Marist to begin with.
Yeah, and Rograt is a player for Marist who has been here for a while. We just haven't seen him a lot this year because, like Marist have said, they're putting a lot of emphasis on the younger side of their roster. Players like Relax, Coldface, Chimmy, Sticky Cheese, those guys have seen a lot more time this split than I think was initially anticipated. Rograt, a Greninja player that last year he was a very kind of pivotal player for Marist. Tended to go in that second, third set as a response or try to answer to someone. And his Greninja, it's a little different than Relax's, but I wonder if there's any kind of notes or comparisons to draw between the two in terms of play style.
Yeah, Relax's playstyle has definitely changed since we first saw them. So I have to assume that is partially due to having 2 players of a similar character, well, not similar, the same character, on your team. So that is one thing I'm going to be keeping an eye on, see how far the apple fell from the tree, as I think Jimbo 2000, if I'm remembering correctly, was a Bowser player, again, so a very similar matchup as well, unless I'm remembering completely wrong.
The last time we saw Jimbo, last time you and I saw Jimbo, it was way back in week 2, and he was playing Lucas back then, which since that, so Lucas is a very different matchup. Jimbo so far, Jimbo has typically been one of these players for Seton Hall who has been kind of the anchor or, that 4th or 5th spot. And so far, minimal success, 2-2 on the season. So he's had his ups and downs, but I think this is going to be one of those moments for Seton Hall where this is one that you feel like for Jimbo should be winnable.
As we start out here on Pokemon Stadium 2 once again. Bit of a slower paced play as you give respect to Lucas's ground options. The up tilt starting up combo, but not quite able to follow it. Just good spacing, though, to keep out this frog.
Rograt really wanting those combo starters again when Nair wants the follow-ups, but not able to do so. Now finds a little bit of an opening and gets a little bit of percent on, but both of them I feel like are playing a little cautiously, or not cautiously. They're swinging for the fences for their one opening, but it's also kind of a panic situation.
Yeah, speaking of panic, getting a forward smash instead of the up smash right there. Unfortunate, but Rograt going to be able to recover from it. But the landing there, a little bit misspaced, going to be caught by the up tilt once again. Jimbo trying to make Rograt a little bit uncomfortable with these PK fires, colliding with the water shuriken in midair with a burst of steam. But eventually the rapid jab is going to put Jimbo off stage. They're able to tether safe and sound though, until they're straight into the water. Kunai finished them off with a forward smash.
Yeah, good read there from Rograt, just finding that roll read from ledge, and so Rograt with the lead here, and we'll see how long he can hold on to the stock for, because every bit of percent he gets here on this stock could be massive.
Ooh. Getting some guaranteed damage off of that up throw and juggling again. Just a little too slow on the fall right there. It makes it so easy to exploit. That's the thing about Lucas. Great punish game, some decent spacing tools, but nothing to really get out of disadvantage. As you can see, 84% more or less unanswered.
Yeah, just a stray hit here or there, and only recently too, so Rograt done a fantastic job on this stock, but that grab should do it, and it will, so Rograt will lose his first stock, but 90, make that 100 now off of the Nair.
But like I said, good combo game. Pressuring with the jab on shield into grab right there, 50% already. Trying to use the Zair to get an opening though, only 30%. That snake being thrown out there is a nice little spacing tool, but that time they get the read. Every single time they've been on platform, Jimbo is teched in. That time Rograt was ready, locked and loaded, and in the high pressure situation, Jimbo was not.
Yeah, well done once again by Rograt to find that read. And now at 82, Jimbo's really struggled to take these stocks. And so now, look at the extensions too from Rograt. Just every bit of damage is so vital to him.
Yeah, trying to go in with these back airs, one of Greninja's safer moves, but instead, ooh, actually getting the counter on that PK Thunder, one of Lucas's best gimping tools. The 2-frame for you right there. They get the drag down right there, trying to carry them across stage, can't finish it, but Greninja can just keep the string going. Constant, oppressive aerials. Jimbo, no real out from it yet, as they're kind of starting to lean more on their spacing, but throwing out hitboxes willy-nilly is how you get yourself forward smash like that. Ooh.
Good side B there by Jimbo to relieve some of that pressure. But really, it's like you said, the fact that Lucas really struggles in disadvantage. Rograt has taken full advantage this stock, and this should be a kill as well. Does find the up throw, so again, last stock scenario here, but Jimbo has such a huge disadvantage.
Yeah, they're searching for some sort of hitbox that can lead into a combo. They're looking for the spike on that back air, but not gonna happen. Instead, neutral get up is punished hard with a downswing of the kunai. Rograt going to be getting a point on the board, or yeah, just a point for Marist College, as they really extend their lead, and that's important. When you're one of the top seeded teams, you want to be getting massive point differentials off of these weaker teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And for Marist, too, they're one of the teams that's been really good about it. At 5-1, I believe they have the highest point differential of any team with that record. to give you an idea, their point differential is plus 77. It's 4th overall in the EGF. And so that's practically only behind the teams that are still undefeated at this point. It's actually better than some of the teams that are undefeated at this point. So they have just done such a good job of kind of piling on here and making sure that they are going to be one of these high seeds in the EGF.
And I mean, they've got their eyes on the MAC conference. They are excited for LAN. That is the one thing Marist kept reiterating to us. So, well, looking into the spring, they want to set themselves up for victory, make it guaranteed that they're making it to that conference. As right now, it could be the last game for Seton Hall. As I liked some of the stuff that Jimbo had early on, but the issue is, like I said, Lucas with such a slow falling speed, not amazing aerial drift, and I mean some disjoints on the way down, but punishable disjoints. Altogether, means that a character like Greninja with one of the biggest jumps in the game can just get right up there to punish you in the air and get 70% anytime your feet leave the ground.
Yeah, and Rograt too also played it very smart too, right? Once he found that first stock, he was patient with his next stock, right? He's sitting there at 130-ish, 80% every time he was able to find the first 2 stocks, throughout that match. And rather than trying to go in and immediately find that bread and butter Greninja combo, he takes a step back. He plays a little bit patient, waits for his one opening, then finds a little bit of damage, then backs away. And that's the classic Greninja, right? But there's something to that, hesitancy to pull the trigger.
And now betting it all on your Sora pocket, which, let's be honest, everyone has, except little old me. I don't have the DLC yet. As, well, you're able to get the initial damage, and Sora is going to be, a little trickier, as Sora does have very good tools in the air to, akin to Bowser, in that it's very hard to juggle, because right there, if it's not entirely true, you're going to get eating a down air.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how Jimbo uses the neutral B, the projectiles, because that's really, I think, what's been the telltale sign of a lot of the Soras in this EGF, but Rograt just does not care, still able to find the combo starter in the up smash.
Yeah, these drag downs are a huge part of their playstyle, even more than Relax, I feel like, and Jimbo just has not been ready to get the tech. The counter at ledge is going to be the stock. That's the amazing thing about Greninja's counter. You can just decide, no, I think you're going that way.
And now up a full stock here, and you have to wonder, too, for Jimbo, how does he find a way to take this stock, too? Because Rograt, again, playing so great, so passive at these high percents.
As right now, Jimbo struggling quite a bit as they're shield poked by that water shuriken. Here and now, it's getting a little bit trickier for them. Sora does have a good air game, as you can see, approaching with that Nair, but again, Greninja's ground game is unparalleled, and, well, sometimes just teleporting right behind you.
Yeah, great spacing on the side B to catch Jimbo out, and now Jimbo with his back against the wall, but that up B out of shield will take the stock, so Jimbo on the board here, but you're down 2 full stocks here on FD, and now got him in the air. Rograt just feels like he is in control of this matchup. He knows the pace of this game.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Soy. Is right now, even though Rograt got a little tripped up initially, even with, honestly, Jimbo has been very disciplined compared to a lot of other Soras we've seen. The landing Nair, the approaching Nair, 3-hit combo, whatever you want to call it, it has been Jimbo's bread, butter, and the knife. It's been everything for them. And now that Rograt is getting the dash backs to avoid it, you can see they're struggling a little more. Even when they do get clipped by it, they get the DI up to get out.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Jimbo's got Rograt in disadvantage, but again, he just can't find a way to track down Rograt's landing there. And Rograt has done such a good job of getting out of disadvantage once he's in it.
Yeah, eventually finishing it off with the Nair into up smash. Plagiarizing Fox a little bit there. as that meaty double hit is going to be the last move of the game for Marist College. Winning it, 22-2, 2-2-2 right there, and definitely deserved. Marist came out swinging, and they never really stopped, showing the new talent and the old throughout their roster.
Yeah, a solid, complete victory there for the side of Marist. Now, it's not the cleanest, of course. You know, Marist would probably want that goose egg on the board, but it's Seton Hall is one of these teams that we've seen in the past. You know, it's not necessarily a growing team, but they struggle with the hierarchy. And their schedule has been rough. So this is a team that it's got a lot of potential on their side. I mean, we saw players like Auser get some points. Jimbo looked good despite losing. You know, we saw the potential of what this roster can do. It's just a matter of, can they put it all together in 1 week? And so far, they've only been able to do it once, and that was way back in week 4.
Yeah, Seton Hall is also, you've got to remember, a newer team. And similar to Marist, they're a lot of freshmen. The difference is Marist has a lot of leadership guiding those freshmen. Seton Hall is really, this is their first foray into Smash Brothers. So all things considered, they're able to hold their own pretty well against an upper echelon team. But there is a learning curve. You can't just walk into the bar and expect that everyone's going to bow down. You've got to earn your place here. And Seton Hall, well, they've still got some earning to do, as Marist, with every single aspect of their roster, is showing that they are going to be a force to be feared, not just now, not just in the past, but far into the future of EGFC.
Absolutely. The depth of this roster is so scary when you consider that they're showing all their, they're showing their veterans off now in places in these matchups against newer players, and they're still finding big wins like this. And then they're willing to, throw these freshmen, out of the frying pan into the fire against teams like William and Mary and the heavy hitters, the hierarchy, these players that don't have a lot of experience in this format. They're not afraid to have them go up against, the titans of the EGF. And here they showed what that kind of experience, what that kind of talent does.
Yes. And while everything we said was true, and Marist College is in fact getting the victory, there is one thing we have not considered, Soy, and it is that there have only been 4 games played, and there is in fact a 5th one coming up. Listen, casters can't count. There's a reason why we play games we watch games instead of playing them. No brain at all. So there is in fact going to be a 5th game coming up. Marist College still getting the win, but still some opportunities here. It's not quite the anchor yet. It is going to be Noah filling that final role for Seton Hall against Luke, who presumably is going to be on the Sephiroth. They've been sticking with that even though they used to play Cloud.
Yeah, Noah so far 0-2 this season, but he is a player that also has been kind of either the lead or the anchor. They want to put him in again in these high pressure situations against some of the anchors of some of these teams, really test his steel. And so far to no avail, but it means he's getting a lot of good experience, and we'll have to see how he does here against Marist.
Yeah, again, it's kind of tricky because this isn't a new against a new. This isn't a coached against a new roster. Luke has been pretty established, and they've been pretty consistent so far in EGFC. And especially online, Sephiroth they have both the clutch factor and the fear factor built in with how meaty their hitboxes are, how they can exploit things based on, just pure... between the super armor, between the spacing, between the neutral beat in its own right, Sephiroth is a character that makes you think twice. And thinking twice in such a fast-paced game, sometimes you're dead before your thought hits the ground.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is going to be a very difficult task for Noah. Luke, so far this season, 3-1. His only loss was in that William and Mary matchup that put Marist off of the undefeated scoreline. So he has been money ever since then, though. And on top of that, it's been through multiple characters. We mostly seen the Sephiroth so far this season, but he's also got the Cloud in his pocket from before Sephiroth's release, and we've also seen on rare occasion the Byleth come out. So again, Luke has been so good for this Marist roster, and he has also typically been in this 5th slot. So the perfect, classic steel versus steel type matchup. We'll have to see how these two play.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, Soy, because it is a good demonstration. The button check just getting finished up now as we're going into our first stage. It is going to be PS2 once again. Both these teams very comfortable there, and I can certainly see why.
So we'll have to see a bit of a character switch.
Okay. I have no idea what to expect from this. I have no idea whatsoever. It is going to be Luke on the K-roll. I was actually more expecting the Bowser, but listen, I respect the drip. Royalty right here. Royalty read royalty. And immediately, it's just a slugfest. As each of these moves, it hits like a truck, and it sounds like a toot. Take a second, just appreciate the sound design in Smash Ultimate. The hits are meaty. Meatier than ever. And that's hit stop, hit pause, whatever you want to call it. It just feels so nice.
I actually liked the idea from Luke there to go off stage and counter. Again, taking advantage of the weak recovery. There's the stomp into forward smash, though, to clean up that stock. But it's something to note for later on in this set. Noah's going to have to be a lot trickier with his recoveries because that counter will always be present.
Yeah, and with K-Roll having a good fastball, they're usually in position to hit it as well. Just going off stage with a cannonball that time, though. Luke is honestly shown that they are pretty comfortable off stage. That could be something Noah could exploit, but Bowser going off there. Ooh, again. That kill confirm. Misspacing up smashes is just an invitation for the scaled feet to come on down.
Yeah, and I just feel like the difference maker here is that Noah is not playing as patient. If he just holds off on pulling the trigger on those moves a little bit more, or on something like the down B, he might be able to hold on to his stock a bit longer.
Might be, but it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed, so is now you are pretty much down and out. I mean, that felt pretty hard, and we've seen comebacks after that, but Luke, I mean, just look cleaner. There's no other way around it. Luke had found ways to just hard call out the options. A lot of newer players, they bet it all on big options. But the thing about betting it all is that those options, if they whiff, they're an invitation to a huge punish. So if you're playing a character who also has huge options like that, then it's more or less just damage. It is damage racking up every time you go for an up smash in neutral, every time you whiff a side B. More damage adding up. We'll see if they're able to finish off this opponent, but right now, there's a chance, if only a chance, for Noah to adapt.
It just felt like in game number 1, Luke came in with a game plan and executed, and Noah just wasn't quite ready for it yet. And like you said, there's a chance still for Noah here in this third game, but he's going to have to play very carefully as Luke doing such a good job of controlling stage. But there's the opening. Gets a lot of damage and pushes him to the corner, but answering right back is Luke.
Noah, he's able to keep Luke at the ledge, and the uppie is a good bit of option coverage. It pretty much does everything, and it's safe to boot, as they just try and read jumps, not trying to overcommit on a grounded option, but eventually you fall right into the down smash. Technically an overcommit from Luke, but hey, you got the reward for it, then is it really?
Yeah, Luke just taking good advantage of the fact that Noah really just wants to get this stock over with and wants to seal it away. Caught the overextension technically, like you said. That downer not going to be able to take the stock quite yet, and Luke doing his best to hold on, but that back air will seal it away. Not much he could do there.
Ooh, and look at that damage. Oh, a nice bit of spacing with that neutral B, but either way, it's crazy. This doesn't feel even, but Noah is actually holding onto this lead right now that they're slowly building. They're not able to get the punish on the down air right there, but if they're able to find a kill right here, stay calm, stay collected, they might be doing just fine.
Staying calm, though, has not been the strong suit of Noah so far, though. You can tell he's got to play very careful at disadvantage, and that will be the stock. The down tilt followed up by the forward smash.
Yeah, Luke, at this moment, you want to finish off the stock right here, but Bowser not the best at edge guarding K. Rool. I mean, you need to commit hard to punish that up B, and a lot of players feel really uncomfortable going that deep off stage. As instead, you just go with the claw. The forward air is not enough to finish the stock, but what is at this point? You want the side B, but it's clear they're ready for it. The dash attack is not going to do it yet. Because Luke, they're okay to play this slow.
Well, they were until they ended up falling prey to that forward tilt. Good play by Noah to deal away that stock. Have to come to stage eventually, but the follow through on Luke, reading the roll, and gets him off stage. Wants the spike, can't find the down air.
Ooh, and we're looking for it again, but the forward smash not going to connect. Now with that spacing and that nair, that was all 4 hits, I think. Now back, down throw. Nice smash by Noah right there, able to escape from that kill confirm instantly. Ooh. At this juncture right now, this truly is anyone's game. Going in with Flame Breath right there is not going to be enough. Trying to follow up the nair with the forward air. Noah playing a lot more discipline than they have before. And they're able to eventually catch the snap to ledge with a forward tilt of their own. Noah's in this yet.
Smart play there from Noah was the key. Just found the few openings he needed, and then rather than going for the heavy hits, the forward smashes, up smashes, things like that, just made sure he could push his advantage all the way to stage, and then the spacing on that forward tilt was just beautiful from Noah to seal away game 2.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, well, it felt like a different Noah, so I don't even blame Luke for getting caught up by it. Noah's discipline towards the end right there was different from anything they had really demonstrated thus far. Able to get a lot of punishes that really, well, not even just punishes, they were just holding back, playing conservative, getting with punishes. And I don't feel like Luke felt the need to have to, well, contest that early on. They just went in there and stomped and won. Not that easy anymore.
And I feel like the game plan too for Luke has kind of been scouted out at this point, right? He had a game plan in game number 1 and executed, and Noah's adaptation just came through in the clutch in game number 2. So it's up to Luke now to find that response. He's not done a good job of really pressuring Noah off stage. We talked about it in the previous matchups of, Bowser, you can take advantage of his recovery, but Luke, every time he goes out to take advantage of it, he ends up falling prey to it.
And right now, just going for the read at ledge. The forward air, not going to be enough for a kill. And they're a little slow on the forward tilt, but even so, Noah holds on strong. But the get-up attack, the claw, the spacing was not there, Soy. There's Luke. At this point now, holds the stock lead after that. Oh! That's not even SP, that is just fear. Pure fear right there. As they dip low to try and avoid the early percent spike, and Luke just went back to the stage scot-free without even throwing out a move.
Yeah, the side beat came out too, and it's so scary when you're recovering low as Bowser. He does manage to find that stock, so gets 1 off the board, but now you're down a full stock against Luke, and the way Luke has been playing, the way he's been able to hold on to his stocks to such high percent, Noah has to play so carefully here this stock to give himself a chance.
Yeah, ghost of a chance right here as well. They're able to immediately keep Luke in the air for the time being, but that time the jump isn't quite enough. and only jabs out of shield, not really getting huge punishes. They're just looking for tech chases, maybe into reads. But by the time they get there, Bowser's fast, but he's not that fast.
I do like what Noah's been doing, though, with these back airs. He's done a very good job of being poised with them, and that's a good forward tilt, so he is able to push it to a last stock situation. And this is a lot of damage that's going to come through.
Yeah, Koopa clawed their way back into this situation, and now Noah has an opportunity to get some more points and some pride to boot. Already, this is more or less an even game. Back here sending them off stage. They go for the ledge trump right there, and that fear gave an instant jump to them. And where were they waiting? Right there with the up smash. And honestly, that is textbook adaptation. Think back to game 1, Soy. What was the defining move of that game, if you'll tell me?
The down B.
Yeah, and down air especially from K. Rool. What did they get there? They got themselves an up smash. The best anti-air that Bowser has to offer, just waiting. After they got the ledge trump, they just waited with the up smash, knowing that in the scramble, in the panic situation, they're going to default back to their roots. They're going to default back to fishing for that stomp into forward smash. And never has a read paid off so much in this set.
Yeah, absolutely. Really well done by Noah, too. It's like you said, the way that first game paced out, it did not look good, but Noah's adaptation came through in the clutch. And again, it just I feel like the plan for Luke, fell apart, obviously, after game 1. But in games number 2 and 3, he had right ideas, but it was just wrong execution. And I say that a lot, but I mean, you look at the way, Noah was able to recover so many times. And even though Noah SDs this game, he's still not able to take full advantage of it. He's up 2-1 in stocks and still managed to lose that lead. It just goes to the proficiency of Noah and what he can really generate off of 1 or 2 openings, and saving that read in the back of your pocket till you really need it. That was really well done by Noah.
Yeah, really well done indeed. But in the end, it is still going to be Marist taking it home. Seton Hall put on a good showing against what is right now number 5. With that win, they could be moving up even more. It's very nice stuff indeed. We are going to be talking to Marist, all as a group, it seems, so I can't wait for that. And we'll let you know how Marist is doing. Well, they will let you know personally in a little interview in just a couple of minutes. So don't go anywhere. EGFC will be back with an interview. Welcome back, everybody, to EGFC. We are here with a decent chunk of Marist College. How you doing, y'all?
Yeah, what's up? We're doing good. Doing good.
Hey. Good to win. You all sound like the seagulls from Finding Nemo, and that is perfect. As
What? Yeah, we can keep going.
I invited it. As now, you have been doing pretty well, and one thing we kind of were pointing out is you all's freshmen. How many of the freshman players relax? I think Coldface didn't play. Like, how many of you all in the room are freshmen right now?
So it's right now for freshmen. It's just me, and everyone else is sophomore or junior, seniors. So it's pretty intimidating looking at everyone who's like senior and juniors. We've been here for like 3 years, and I'm just like the incoming freshman. When I saw Rock, who was a Granger player, I was like, oh man, I was a little intimidated at first. But like, because he's been like carrying like the team when it comes to like the frogs. So when I saw him, I was like, holy jeez.
Yeah. Well, as that is one thing I wanted to ask, because you have been very specific about, well, how do I phrase this? Being prepared for future years when people move out. So how are you feeling prepared going into future seasons where you might not have all these returning players? You feeling confident to keep the flame alive?
It kind of sucks, like the seniors like go, because like I won't be able to see Zucchini, Abso, Luke to really like carry the team forward. So I know it's gonna, as the freshman, has to put my team on my back and bring it home for Marist.
Yeah, of course.
I got a question. We talked a lot about how there's a lot of emphasis on the freshmen getting a lot of time for you guys this season. But I want to ask, the veterans of the scene, the guys who have been here for 2-3 years now. How are you guys feeling about your personal performances this week and previous weeks?
We're feeling pretty good. We actually just held a Marist big seasonal tournament. So we had like 40 people show up. Yeah, we had great practice going into that. So yeah, we're all feeling pretty good about our play. So yeah.
Yeah, nice. And one thing I did notice is today there were a lot of secondaries, and I was gonna ask about what is the intended. I mean, obviously you all are playing for fun. You said that since day one, but like, for example, Zucchini's Rob and stuff like that. Like, is there purpose behind a lot of the secondaries, or are they just characters you also happen to be good at?
So the Rob goes both ways, especially for today. I've been playing, I think I've mentioned this in an interview before, but I've been playing Rob since Smash 4. So I've been just playing the character a long time. But on top of that, Rob's also broken, especially online. Especially against Bowser on FD.
Yeah.
So I needed to circle camp, so that's why I picked Rob that set. Meanwhile, Luke and his K rule.
So I wanted to go K rule because we've had somebody, he's an alumni from Marist, actually, Anagram. He's been in the chat for every single one of our games, almost, I think it's been basically every week, and he wanted the K rule to come out. So we had a sufficient lead, and out came the K rule. It didn't end well. I got to put in a little more work, get some Elite Smash matches going. But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you already had the win. You got to play to the fans, so I don't blame you for it. But, hey, sometimes you secondaries got to get put in their place. And listen, you can't be mad at that. You can't.
Just how it goes.
So, after this, so there's a little bit of a break here for that Thanksgiving week, but then you wrap up this split week 8 with a matchup against Wichita State. So I guess, how do you prepare for an out of conference matchup against a team that's trying to make a playoff push?
The same way we prepare for every match. We just play some friendlies, have a good time, and hope we win. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's worked up till now, so we're just gonna keep doing it.
Listen, y'all I really think you have one of the strongest morales, and I think it's because of that attitude. So, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And
I
I
agree.
wish you best of luck in that mashup. But for now, thank you all for joining me in this interview, in both character form and in audio. And like I said, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
guys.
Kilo.
Oh my
And
This guy.
yeah, with that, we are going to be going to a little break, but we are going to be right back with another match coming up. It's going to be Marquette and University of Colorado, some heavy hitters coming out to play. So don't go anywhere. EGFC will be back in a couple of minutes.
All right,